Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
SBTV Nation, it's your boys in the house. It is Saturday. College football is in full effect, and you are now listening to the biggest show in the world. Hat, what's going on?
Good morning, Dream. How you feeling after Washington laideth the smacketh down last night?
Washington showed you what time it was, and they are headed for the playoffs. College football playoffs. Washington showed their muscle flex last night on Colorado. Son, they put a drubbing.
I know.
A drubbing down on Colorado.
Well, it was a little tight in the first half. I did talk about it taking a little time to score. And sure enough, I mean, they did put up 21 points between the two of them in the first half. So that worked out. You know what? And then Washington just ran away with it, Dream. So congratulations to them. And like you said, they will be in the college football playoff.
I'm kind of happy the way it pans out. I like the way it pans out because I did want variety. I didn't necessarily want them in, so to say, because I just am worried about them playing one of the other conferences. I just think the other conferences are a lot more competitive than the Pac-12, but it is what it is. So we'll have to move forward and look at it. But I didn't want one conference to have multiple teams in.
Well, you still got that situation, though.
I know you still have the situation possibly, but I'm just saying at one point, if Washington had lost, you know, Big Ten might have had 3 teams in.
Yeah, no doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. Well,
That
you know what?
I did not want.
You know, I mean, you got pretty much a win and you're in situation for Clemson.
No
Definitely. Because they're playing today, and, the Ohio State University most likely will be in their Dream. So, and...
Pat, what do you mean most likely? Who do you think's supplanting any of these teams?
What's that?
Who do you think's supplanting any of these teams?
Oh, man. You know, I think Ohio State's going to be in there. I think...
No doubt.
And I think that even if Bama loses, they're going to be in there.
Agreed.
So the only spot left is the Clemson Tigers. And if they lose, you're probably going to have to slide in either the Big Ten winner or Michigan. One or the other at this point. So it's pretty much shaped out, Dream. You know, this thing is looking pretty good here. So I just don't know if Tech is going to have what it takes to knock off Clemson, but we will have that conversation as we move on in the show.
I think if Clemson loses, they still go in.
No way. Not with 2 losses. Not losing to Pitt and then losing to Tech, Dream. Think about the losses. If they lose today, and you compare that to Michigan's 2 losses, losing to the Ohio State University and losing at Iowa, I believe that Michigan gets the nod. But, hey, you know what? I am not the committee, but just going over our experiences. I mean, you guys know that I beat this stuff to death. And I look at it and I research it time and time again. But, hey, we'll see what happens, man. But, I mean, that's the way I see it shaking out. But
That's interesting.
Yeah, we'll see how it all goes. And a Big Ten winner may not make the playoff, which is kind of crazy, to be honest with you. I really wish they'd go 8 teams, Dream.
No, I know. I hear you with the 8 teams, but my thing is, if you're gonna go 8 teams or 6 or whatever you do, I think you have to make every conference have a conference championship game. Then.
I agree. And then
I actually think that having conference championship games, though, before you even go 8, they should institute that now.
Okay.
Maybe before you go 8. That might help clean it up a little bit better at its present state. But I agree with you. It should be. I don't know about 8 though. 8 seems a lot.
Well, what you do is you have like the lower seeded teams play each other, just similar to like a we have the top teams that have a bye. In certain situations like the NFL playoffs. But let them play it out. Like, let the winner of the MAC play the winner of the American. Let the, you know what I'm saying? Like, the lower-ranked teams play each other, knock each other around, and then get to the Power 5 schools. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that's the move. But you know what? I know that they have a couple of more years of this 4 teams before they expand it. Because I believe that's written in the contract, Dream.
Yep.
So, anyway, hey, moving on here. I lost last night with Western Michigan. I was given 9.5 points.
Oh.
Yeah, it sucked, man. But you know what, Dream? I got to be honest with you. I was watching the game, and I started out, and I'm looking at Western Michigan play. And did you watch it?
I watched some of it, not all of it.
Did you notice Western Michigan just kind of had the swagger, like the kind of we're going to beat you regardless kind of thing?
I did notice that. I did notice that in the beginning.
Just no urgency, just kind of like, we're dope and you're not.
Yep.
So once I saw that happening and they were kicking field goals in the beginning, I believe they went up 9-0, and they came close to getting a first and goal on one of those runs. But, I had that feeling, man. I'm just looking at it, and I'm just like, they're just pushing them around like they're just this incredible team. So you can't have that kind of attitude going into a big bowl game, especially a New Year's Six bowl. Can't have that attitude.
No, you cannot.
Because you know what's going to happen if you have that attitude? You're going to get your ass kicked.
Sure enough. And they're going to end up playing a team of a caliber that they haven't really seen that type of athlete, so to say.
Right.
I don't know who they're going to play yet. I have no idea who they would play.
Well, they're looking at the Cotton Bowl right now.
Okay.
And I don't know who they would play in the Cotton Bowl.
All right.
But, it's a toss-up between them and Navy, believe it or not. So, the way it's shaken out is, I think that they may play like a Big 12 winner or something like that, Dream. Like an Oklahoma or an Oklahoma State or something like that. So they better not have that attitude that they had last night. That's all I'm saying, or else you're going to get blown out. But, if they play a team like the likes of an Oklahoma, they're probably going to be getting double digits. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Oklahoma, Hat, if Clemson were to lose, I wouldn't be surprised if Oklahoma got the nod over Michigan.
It's a possibility. Because you got a big game this weekend. You got to play Oklahoma State in
big
Bedlam.
game this weekend. So I'm really perplexed by that. I thought about it slightly, but I've never really given it any thought about Clemson losing this game. And it opens up a barrel of worms.
It sure does, man.
If Clemson loses this game,
because
it becomes chaos.
Because 3 out of 4 are pretty much solidified.
Right,
You know
exactly.
what I mean? So, hey, it is what it is, and we will keep it moving and go from there, Dream. So, looking at the rest of the notes here, you want to shoot over to the NBA?
Shoot over to the NBA, man. We talked about yesterday a little bit about the Knicks and a little bit about the Boston Celtics. Both teams get it done. Not necessarily all that impressively.
No. I was watching the Knicks game at the bar. They were not impressive at all. Thibodeau had had the T-Wolves up at one point in the game towards the end of the game. So I don't know, Dream.
It was not impressive, but hey, you win ugly games. You know how long the basketball season is, and you win ugly games. They were able to get this game done at home and won. It was not an impressive fashion. And Knicks still got to work on their defense.
Sure do.
Dude, their defense is dreadful.
How do you think Thibodeau is going to fare over at Minnesota?
You know what? I think he's got some young talent. He's got some guys that, like, they're willing to play. I don't think that's the greatest fit for him, but it looks like he's able to work within it. I know you like Thibodeau.
Yeah.
I'm borderline with him. Like,
yeah.
I kind of like him, but I don't. But, like, I think his personality would work better in a couple of other situations. Like, I think that he'd be an ideal coach for the Miami Heat. I don't necessarily know, because Minnesota's like a young, upcoming team. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That disciplinarian, tough guy type of defensive system for him, that doesn't necessarily translate well to younger athletes, because they just don't buy into it. Whereas an older, more mature type team, kind of like what the Miami Heat have, maybe even the Orlando Magic as well, would probably buy into spots. I tell you where he'd be dope, but they don't need a coach. He needs to go to Golden State.
Yeah, no doubt.
Teach them a little tad bit of defense.
Or even join the squad over there. That would be nice. Exactly. I like him because he's no nonsense. That's what I like about him.
And that's what I like too. But that does not work in the landscape of the basketball and these kids and the way they are. That does not all work. They don't always buy into that system. So I'm just interested in seeing how he's able to keep these kids motivated in Minnesota. But doing a good job so far. Got a scrappy bunch. They don't give up. They play hard. Definitely play good defense, which we expect. Fundamentals look right there and sound. They just don't seem to have that kind of talent yet. To match a Knicks team as we saw last night. And the Knicks look really defensively terrible, but offensive. You see it all right there, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I want to go to a Knicks game this year.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll definitely go. I'm down for it. I don't really like doing a lot of games, but I am down to go with you to a Knicks game.
Yeah.
Want to see Carmelo do his thing. He's picking his game up a little bit. Porzingis, dude, you see they're running a lot of this offense through Porzingis.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's getting a lot more touches this year.
A lot more touches. I'm telling you, I think this Knicks team has a big upside, but they got to work some of the kinks out still.
Well, that's number one. Number two, D Rose needs to stay healthy.
Oh.
Because
Mr. Glass.
you already know he's got the little Gronkowski thing going on. So
Mr. Glass.
You know what? It's only a matter of time before he's going to be sitting there in sweatsuits, kind of just
Glass.
chilling. Exactly. So anyway, what else you got?
Well, we also need to talk about. Do you have the soundbite? Notice that my boy don't got that. This is what I love about the hat, right? Because when they win, he'll open the show with him and talking about him and blowing him up. When they lose. Yes. Son.
I know. It's bad, man. I hear you. I don't know what's going on with them.
What in the world is going on with LeBron James?
I'm happy about it though. I love it. I love the situation, Dream, because you already know now that he's lost 3 in a row what time it is. It's time for him to go out and lay the smackdown on somebody. And what better way to come out and show your skills than playing the Toronto Crafters on Monday night? But we're going to have that conversation when it comes. But you don't like that spot, do you?
I don't know. That Raptor team is a real pain in the ass, especially at home. They run up and down the floor. And we know last year, one of the Achilles heel of the Cleveland Cavaliers was their inability to, one, have transition play transition basketball, and 2, play good transition defense. So I'm a little bit worried, but I feel you because it's too many losses for them. So at some point, you have to get beyond that and get past that, which we may be at. But like you said, we'll have to have the conversation on Monday and see how heavy or not heavy the account is from this weekend.
Yeah, right.
But I somewhat agree with you that Cleveland does need a win worse than ever right now. And in the midst of this losing streak that they're on, something is about to pop off for them.
They're 13-5 on the year, losers of 3 straight, and they're 6-11-1 against the spread, Dream. So they're only covering about 33% of the time as far as the spreads are concerned. But you know what? They're going to go into Toronto. They're probably going to be given 2 to 3 to 4 points max. And I have a feeling they're going to get it done. They're going to kind of chill this weekend, and I'll be ready for that, Dream.
Okay.
All right? But you're probably going to have a home court underdog on prime time.
Home court underdog on prime time. You're going to get all into it. Listen, the Clippers got their job done yesterday against the Pelicans. They seem to have found their stride a little bit. They've got a little bit of consistency going as far as their winning's concerned. That's 2 straight for them coming off their losing streak, and they're about to head back home. Also, we didn't really talk about the Celtics. Celtics, ugly game yesterday. Struggled with Sacramento, but found a way to win a game that they were down most of this game. They were down most of the game. Found a way to pull it out at the end. This team's a scrappy team. They play really good defense, guys. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to the Boston Celtics. They play really good defense, but they're still not there yet. You know what I mean? They're just like, they're that B tier in the NBA, just one level down from the really good teams. Trying to make that next step, but it's just not coming yet.
I got it.
And I got to tell you, Rondo looked really good yesterday with the Bulls.
I told you about the Bulls.
Yeah.
You know, I'm with you. I mean, I have not really dove into the NBA yet.
Okay.
Once football comes and goes, you already know where I'm at. I mean, it's college hoop and it's completely NBA. So, you know what? But I did not see. I watched the Knicks game last night because it was on in the bar. But,
right.
But I did not see the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Chicago Bulls play each other last night. So I'll be into it. And I think this Bulls team
there was a big deal about the Cleveland Cav game with the Bulls. I guess Wade and LeBron had made some type of bet.
Yeah.
LeBron had to wear some kind of Chicago. I forget what it was. Chicago jersey.
He had to wear the Cubs
jersey.
Yeah, because of the World Series, because Cleveland played Chicago.
Right, okay.
So
exactly.
That's how it was. And the loser had to wear that on I believe it was the home court of the other team.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's how it worked. So anyway, Dream.
Yes, sir.
Where else you going here today?
As far as the NBA is concerned, that will be about it. I don't think that we have any more to look at as far as the NBA is concerned. And to recap, as far as last night, Rockets did beat the Nuggets. I don't think that's a big deal. And the Spurs beat the Wizards, which Popovich and Spurs just keep doing what they usually do.
Yes, sir.
Today, college basketball. We're going to move over to there for a second and talk about college basketball for a minute. Guys, I am not up to speed with college basketball at all yet. I've had to kick in a couple of light looks at a couple of teams. I talked about Kentucky being absolutely dope, which they are. They are back at it again today. They play UCLA. I don't know if you guys are getting involved in that game. Today, honestly, as far as the wagering is concerned, I'm definitely looking at college football. I'm not looking at college basketball, but because we cover all the subjects and all the sports on this show, or as many as we can, I'm going to holler about it in a minute. So, and that's the one thing to look at with college basketball. Kentucky does play UCLA today. The Bills squaring off against St. Joe's. And I don't know if you were able to take a look last night. We do have that Yale-Albany game at 2 o'clock. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
You know what? I have no thoughts yet because we got to get the live look in on them and see how that's all shaken out this year. So, and I'm pulling it up right now just to try to see it because I can't find a line on that game yet.
Okay.
But, Yale's been bad.
Terrible.
They've been really bad. Obviously with the absence of all their key players going back to last year, and Mekhi Mason is obviously out. So, that's an issue, Dream.
Yep.
So, you know what? We'll have to take a look at it, and this may be the team to pick on this year. I hate doing that. I hate having to go to the game and root against them, but it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
No doubt. So, it's about making money. So
it's all about making money. I agree with you on that.
Definitely go to the game and root against them if they gotta lose. That'll be a good look by them.
Who was that awful team they played last year that you picked on?
Dartmouth. Wasn't it Dartmouth?
Was it Princeton or Dartmouth?
I think it was Dartmouth. I think I killed Dartmouth last year. Every time they played, they were terrible.
I know.
They were terrible. We were sitting at the Yale game. I had Yale, and I took them straight minus the points, which was something crazy. Yep. And they covered every point of it, which was the Dartmouth team was bad as it could get. And after we saw them, and I went ham. After we saw them, every time they played, I bet against them. They were terrible. It's one thing when you get a live look at a team, especially basketball, and you get to really see how bad a team is. This Dartmouth team last year was bad.
Yeah, exactly. So. All good, man. We'll dive into college basketball real soon. As soon as we get this football up and out and ready to rock. So, you want to talk about it, man? Got a couple of games today. You ready?
A couple of games. We
ready?
Definitely can move right into this college football thing. We got a couple of big games. Obviously, guys, I talked about the money line parlay, and I talked about leaving 2 spots open. I'm going to start off right at 12:30 with Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, which is the second piece of the puzzle in the money line parlay. I have Washington money line, left 2 spots open. We're going to close one of the spots out with Oklahoma. I like the Sooners today.
You do.
I like the Sooners today. I like what the Sooners have done as far as picking up the pieces of their season, getting themselves back on track, and making themselves relative. The things that I complained about their inability to do and execute at the beginning of the season have seemed to go away, and you're able to execute now. I don't know what the changes were exactly, because most of the people who were in the mix at the beginning of the season are in the mix now. Baker Mayfield's still the quarterback. Mixon's still running the ball. You got Westbrook catching. I don't understand why these guys were not able to perform at this level at the beginning of the season, but obviously throughout the season, they figured out what was wrong, made some adjustments, and seem to be on the right track as of now. They're coming in, they're playing an Oklahoma State team who is still a little bit salty, saying that they should be undefeated, or at least one of their wins shouldn't be there.
Okay.
Well, how do you feel about that game?
Oh, man. Well, you're talking about the Central Michigan game.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was at the end. I forgot what it was.
They gave them more time to run another. They let them run another play that shouldn't have been in regulation. They've been talking. I mean, this has been a topic for most of the season.
Yeah, right. And it was that Hail Mary at the end, exactly.
Right.
But they ended up losing that game by 3. But they did lose another game at Baylor, Dream.
Yeah, they did lose the game at Baylor. Right. I forgot about that one.
And
but
you know what? I mean, realistically, whether you lost 1 or 2 games, I mean, that Baylor loss, looking at the way Baylor's played this year, that's a bad loss.
Yes, it is.
I mean, I know you were on the road, interconference and all that, but that's still a bad loss. So you got 2 on your resume right now as far as losses are concerned. One's versus Central Mich and the other one versus Baylor. So I don't know. I'm not sold on Oklahoma State at all.
Okay.
I'm really not. I mean, they're putting up a lot of points. I mean, they do score over 40 points a game. I understand that. Give up about 27, but Oklahoma, Dream, is clearly the team with the momentum right now.
No, Oklahoma has a lot of momentum. The one thing that bothers me about Oklahoma, though, defensively, they're still not necessarily playing up to the capabilities that they were probably touted as being able to be this season. The defense, to me, is a big question mark for them, because coming into this season, we expect Oklahoma to defensively be a lot better than they've turned out to be. They're allowing 443 yards, which is heavy. Okay. Of course, 156 yards on the ground. You know how I feel about that groundwork. 287 through the air. Now, the only thing that is a positive for them, Oklahoma State allows 192 yards on the ground.
Right.
So in that case, I do think Oklahoma does have an advantage. I think Oklahoma, though, will be able to defensively have some success and stymie a little bit of what Oklahoma State wants to do. You're gonna have to have good play out of their linebackers. I expect their linebackers to step up. You're going to have to tackle, no missed tackles, no broken plays, because Oklahoma will capitalize off of broken plays. So the defense has to stay fundamentally sound, which I believe that they will be coached well up to. I believe that they're prepared for this, because in the locker room, I know that they're being told today anything can happen. Florida could go out and beat Bama. Clemson could lose, and who knows? We could be in the playoffs. So let's go out there and beat Oklahoma State and just take it from there. That's what that's got to be what the speech is in the locker room right now.
Yeah, very good point.
You know what I'm saying? So I expect him to execute well. I expect Baker Mayfield to have a very good game. Oklahoma State's defense does not scare you. Secondary play on your defense is very weak, so they should be able to have some success moving this ball, getting the ball down the field. It's a 12:30 start, gang. Now, as far as the points are concerned,
Yeah, this has backdoor cover written
all over it. Yep. All over it. Do not lay the 11. No way. Don't lay the 11 points. But by the same token, I don't think you take Oklahoma State with the 11, because they could get blown out.
Maybe.
Yeah, they could get blown out. I don't think they will. They could get blown out. I wouldn't lay the 11. I think if you get this under 3 or a money line situation, you're going to be good. And obviously, if you money line it, you're going to have to put it with some other teams in order to make some money out of this. So you're going to have to do a money line parlay, or you put this in a teaser situation and get it under 3 points.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I mean, Dream, you realize the total is 76 points?
I do.
Wow.
I do.
Wow, interesting. So, and when they played each other last, I mean, it was a very high-scoring affair. I believe it was over 80 points that they scored last year. So, between the two of them. I might want to look at one of those props where it's a score maybe in like the first 5 minutes or something like that.
Okay.
It's a possibility. I don't know if I'm definitely sold on it yet, but I've been pretty successful with those. I like
sure
those.
Have.
So, you know what? That might be something to take a look at, guys, if you want to get down with this particular game. But for me, I might just stay away from it, Dream. You know what? I'm not a big fan of the card today.
No, I don't love the card either, but I did like Oklahoma, and I did like... You want to just move on right to the next game right now?
Go for it.
8 o'clock, Clemson, guys. Clemson, Virginia Tech. I had talked about it earlier in the show. Talked about Clemson playing Virginia Tech. Is the second piece, the third piece of the money line parlay to close it on out. You're going to add Clemson to it. So now you got Washington, who already won. We got the 12:30 game with Oklahoma. And then we'll have nightcap with Clemson. So your day's nice and spread out. So what you could do is you could dip to the mall now. Okay? Grab a couple of things, stop, have lunch, dip into, Ruby Tuesday or something, check out the game, find out what's going on, keep the bride happy, act like you're interested. Meanwhile, take a look on your phone. Then when you get home, after you have dinner and sit down, you get to lock right into the Clemson Tiger game, which will be dope. You know what I'm saying? And so, you guys, find the balance. Keep it balanced because you got to do your Christmas stuff. You got to handle that. These should be some pretty easy, no-nonsense games. I'm expecting Deshaun Watson and Clemson to be absolutely fired up tonight and get this game won. I expect some big things out of Clemson tonight. I think that they should come in. They should be able to handle Virginia Tech. Virginia Tech, not that impressive to me this season. Another team rushing, they allow 145 yards on the ground. I mean, if you're Clemson, Gauman's got to be kind of excited about getting out there and getting at that defensive line, getting maybe at that linebackers. When he makes it to that next level, if that secondary is being asked on to tackle him, I don't know that that's a good formula for Virginia Tech. So it could be some flower singing and some slow singing and flower bringing in Virginia Tech Hokie world because I think the Clemson Tigers are going to roll tonight.
You think so, huh?
I do.
They do show up for big games.
I believe they're going to show up tonight. I mean, they got
games that they take. The teams that they take lightly are the ones that they struggle with. So I don't know, Dream. I mean, if I look at the entire card of collegiate football today, and I say to myself, which team has the best shot of an upset? Okay. This is the one that stands out.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. You know what? Va Tech is a scrappy team. You know what? And if they rattle Mr. Watson in the backfield, I'm not a huge advocate of this Clemson defense this year, Dream. This Clemson defense, I've seen them get ran up and down the field quite a bit this year. So I think that they were better last year. For some reason, I don't have the balls to obviously money line Va Tech or even take them. The line started at 9, it's up to 10.5. So it's clear that there's a lot of money coming in on Clemson, obviously. Just something about this game I don't like. I don't like it. It's something that makes me want to look at the NFL tomorrow.
Well, my thing that bothers me when I look at this game and I think about Va Tech is they beat Notre Dame 34-31.
Right.
And Notre Dame is booty.
Notre Dame is booty.
All right. I don't think by any stretch of the imagination, and that was just 2 weeks ago that they did that. Clemson is a whole nother level. And you struggle with Notre Dame. And I know all teams can struggle a little bit, but I look at struggle with Notre Dame, lost to Georgia Tech, struggle with Duke. Clemson should go ham.
Well, we saw Clemson struggles this year too, Dream.
We did see Clemson struggles. I agree with that. We have seen Clemson struggles, but Clemson's got a little bit of stride. I mean, I know they did play Wake Forest, and I know it was South Carolina, but they got to be able to be a little bit feeling themselves and feeling the momentum, and they've got to know the importance of getting this win. If they want to go into the playoffs, there is all the importance of the world. So, guys, as far as situational gambling is concerned, these kids and these two teams have all the reason in the world to win their games today, and that is the most you can ask for in any situation. A team with the most to win, a lot to lose if they lose, remove the points from that situation, got them at a money line, so just go out there and win. That, to me, isn't a better situation you could have in the world of gambling.
All right. Sounds good, Dream. So let's move on to another game that I want to talk about. We are at conference championships today, guys, and we have a game to discuss, and that is the SEC championship. Where, Dream, to be honest with you, Alabama, how much do they have to play for? Realistically, I mean, whether they win or lose, I think they're in the playoff, and I think you and I both agree on that.
The Pillow Bowl.
The Pillow Bowl.
That's what I call this, the pillow bowl. Because you just get a pillow out and go to sleep. Because when you wake up, it'll be 3-0.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, you don't think that Luke Del Rizzo will do anything for Florida here, or what? Besides throw interceptions, besides get sacked in the backfield, besides fumbling the ball, besides getting murdered.
Luke Del Rizzo, I hope you've been keeping up with your grades and learning whatever you're getting your degree in. Because there will be no need for you to hit the combine.
No doubt.
There will be no need for you to hit the combine and look at the NFL because your college football play has been dreadful.
Yes, sir.
As far as I'm concerned.
Right on, right on. So looking at the Gators today, they are a 24-point underdog, Dream. And this is one of those games where you look at it and you say, that's a lot of points for a championship game. Let me take the underdog. And then all of a sudden, you're down 41-3 going into the third quarter. And you're trying to get that backdoor cover. So, I don't know. I have no interest whatsoever in taking Florida. But I think 24 is a lot to lay with Bama, Dream.
Well, of course, because it'll be 3-0.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, 24 is a lot delayed. It beat LSU 10-0.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So when you look at this matchup, I mean, the total is only 41 points. So they're really not expecting any scoring out of Florida whatsoever, Dream. Well, what's that make their team total? Like 10 or something like that? it's unbelievable, man. So looking at this here, Alabama's putting up about 39 points a game, only allowing 11, where Florida's pretty good defensively, Dream. They only give up 2 touchdowns a game.
I was going to say that as well. Definitely look at Florida's defense. It is almost as impressive as Alabama's. Almost. I think Florida's defense, though, is a tad bit overrated because I don't think they're a lot better. I don't think they're that close to Alabama's defense, but they're good defense.
No, but you know what? They have definitely been keeping these totals under, that's for sure. Because, I mean, when you look, 5 of the last 5 games for Florida have all gone under. 4 of the last 5 for Bama have gone under. So, I mean, they're definitely putting up some serious stats as far as the defense is concerned here. When you look at it here, I mean, rush defense, Alabama only gives up, Dream, listen to this, 69 yards a game.
I know.
That's it.
That so the running game you can't run through them, player.
Yeah, I know. The running game is obsolete.
Yeah, you can't run through that front four. They're definitely dominant. The one thing about Florida, though, Florida State moved the ball all over that defense.
Okay.
Florida State moved that ball all up and down the field on Florida's defense, and especially as it got later in that game. I'm just worried that Alabama, with their rushing game, not necessarily their passing game, but their rushing game, eventually are going to break down this Gator team and probably start having a lot of success that mid to third quarter and then on into the fourth quarter. Just take the game over. You know how Alabama's going to do it. They're just going to pound you to death.
Yeah, good point. And you know what? When you have the dynamic of a what's the word I'm looking for? A multi-dimensional offense, being with Jalen Hurts, running the ball too. It could definitely wear on you, especially you're running up the middle. All of a sudden, he takes the ball on the outside. You know what I mean? It's just you see that time and time again here. So, when I look at this game, 24 points is just so much, and I would not be interested in taking either side on that. I just don't. There's nothing I could do to make me put my money on this game, Dream.
Gun to my head, I would take Florida plus the 24.
Gun to your head. What backdoor cover you talk about?
Not necessarily backdoor cover. Just don't see Alabama being probably. I see 21-0 and you nail bite in that last quarter, and then Alabama taking these.
Yeah, right. Good point.
I just don't. Alabama, they sometimes will just settle for just shutting you out and then, not blowing it up with the score sometimes.
I totally get it. So, hey, OJFB, Dr. Dan will be back on. He's having some internet issues at his place, but he will be on with us momentarily. Hopefully tomorrow we can get him on here, Dream.
No doubt.
So let's move over to another collegiate football game and have a conversation about the Big Ten Championship. as we have Wisconsin facing Penn State. Wisconsin -3 with an under-over of 47 points. Dream, Penn State has shocked the world this year.
They have shocked the world, but I am not buying in still. Talk to me.
Well, you know what? I was able to get on them as far as, their last major victory, which was when they played Michigan State and when they played Rutgers, as a matter of fact. I was on both of those. This team just seems like they've got this chemistry going. It just seems like they have this winning pedigree, this momentum, this how do you like to put it? This charm.
Okay.
They have it. It's crazy. And Wisconsin's more of that, rush the ball, grind you down, play defense. It's almost like this game can be a low-scoring, ugly game. I that's what I see here, Dream. I like Wisconsin. I like Penn State. And I think both of these teams are very similar as far as power rankings are concerned. Both of these teams, I do not feel are in the upper echelon as far as being considered a playoff team now. I don't see that. Okay? But I think this will be a good game. There's no way I could bet against Penn State right now, the way they're playing. And if anything, Dream, maybe you buy a half point and get Penn State plus 3.5. You're not feeling them, though.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not.
I'm trying to talk it out with you, kind of get this thing going here.
I know. I haven't seen a whole lot of them. I did see them against Michigan State. I think Michigan State is a lousy team, but they were struggling with Michigan State at the beginning of that game, and then they pulled it wide open. I mean, they played Rutgers. Okay, Rutgers stinks. Yeah, Rutgers, we know that. All right, Indiana. Their resume. Iowa. Okay, solid win, 41-14. And obviously, the big upset. I don't know. There's nothing to me that's impressive about the way they do it. So I guess that's my problem with them. I just see they are blue collar as far as I'm concerned. They kind of go by it quietly. There's definitely some consistency as far as the way their offense flows. They don't make a lot of mistakes and don't turn the ball over, which that's always the formula to winning football games or winning any game. Mm-hmm. So that part I will give them. But I just think that Wisconsin is a bigger, badder animal.
Yeah. And you know what? Their rushing game, they're rushing for over 200 yards a game. And you know what? When you look at it here, Penn State, you like to look at this trend, and this stat as far as rush defense is concerned. They're giving up, 146 yards on the ground per game. Like I said, I think this game will be a knockdown, drag-out affair. I could see a low-scoring game here, Dream. Wisconsin only gives up 13.7 points per game. That's it. I like the under, now that I'm talking about it. I might get involved with the under on this game. I think this could be 10-3 going into the half.
At 47, I don't really mind the under either hat. It's probably a good call. It'll probably be a tight game. I think I agree with you. I think you found something there, and I think that I'm buying into that. I do think that I like the under as well, especially considering what I've seen out of Penn State and what I've seen out of Wisconsin. None of the offenses dazzle me.
No.
And neither of the two teams turn the ball over a lot.
Right on.
So that formula, along with their both wanting to run the ball, especially Wisconsin, I happen to agree with you. I think the under is the play. Under 47, gang. I think we have a winner.
Yeah, I think so, brother. I think so. So looking at the rest of it here, Dream, there's two more games on the ticket. If you want to talk about them, we can. Number one is Temple versus Navy. Navy -3 with an under-over of 60. Obviously, Navy, one of the probably, I don't know, are they the top rushing team in the land?
I don't know, but they got a potent-ass rushing game.
342 yards per game on the ground.
They get it in.
They get it in. And you know what? Temple's, their rush defense isn't all that bad. So, you know what? This game here might be a stomach ache. This is the first one at 12 o'clock, and I know all you junkies are going to be on this game. Temple has been a beast as far as covering their spreads, man.
They have been.
They have won, I believe, Dream, against the spread. They have won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games in a row against the spread. Temple this year. But I think it comes so close today. I think the Navy midshipmen are going to get it done.
I think they're going to get it done, but I'll tell you what. Once again, when you look at that rushing yards allowed stat,
yes,
Navy gives up 175 yards on the ground. Anytime you give up that kind of yardage on the ground, I always question you because, like I said, running the ball opens up a lot of things, and it allows you to control clock, keep defenses out there. It just allows a lot of stuff to happen when you're able to run the ball effectively. And when you're not able to effectively defend against the run, it causes problems. So before you guys go rushing off and getting the midshipmen and thinking you're going to go ham, because you know what they do on the ground and you know about their, with the offense that they run, be very careful because Temple is going to have some success running this ball against Navy.
11 in a row versus the spread, bro.
Yep.
Unbelievable how they're doing and how they're covering. But you know what, Dream? I like this Navy team this year.
I like them too. At common opponent USF, Navy loses to USF 52-45. Temple beat USF 46-30.
Okay. But you never know what you're getting.
Nah, definitely.
You don't get the same product every single week with these teams. So, and one more game on a ticket is in the Big 12. You already know what you got here. You've got Baylor versus West Virginia. West Virginia minus 17.5 points, under over 68 points, Dream. What happened to Baylor?
Well, I don't know.
2-4 in the last 6 games on the road. Baylor has.
I don't know what happened to Baylor.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough matchup, but it seems like a lot of points.
I've had a lot of success with West Virginia this season. West Virginia is good. West Virginia had that one loss, man. I mean, I know they got 2 losses, but one of the losses they should not have gotten. And otherwise, they would have probably been a little bit in the conversation, just a little bit, for the playoff, maybe a little bit of a smidgen of in the conversation. That loss to Oklahoma State to me is a bad loss for them. They shouldn't have lost to Oklahoma State. I thought they were going to win that game, and they really just, I don't know what happened to them in that game, but let it down. Okay, Baylor Bears, defensively, absolutely atrocious. 201 yards on the ground allowed. Look, I think Western Michigan kills Baylor today.
You mean West Virginia?
I mean West Virginia. I'm sorry, West Virginia. Western Michigan. West Virginia. I think they kill Baylor today because Baylor's inability to stop the run and West Virginia getting their run game going, with Crawford, should be probably an issue. Yep. Okay, and then Baylor's defense. I mean, once you're able to start running on them, it's like, forget it. Then everybody just starts to stink. Secondary can't cover nobody. The safeties are out to lunch. The linebackers are like, whatever. And now it's ham time for the other offense. Only thing that you got to worry about, Baylor does have, a potent offense. They can move the ball a little bit, offensively. I just think West Virginia wins this game. I think West Virginia will be able to probably stop some of the things that Baylor wants to do. I know West Virginia does give up 173 yards on the ground as well. I see that. I don't think that Baylor will have that kind of success against them. I like West Virginia to win this game. And 17 points is a lot.
Yeah, sure is.
I think they cover.
You really think so, huh?
I do. I wouldn't do it, guys. You know me. Listen, thanks to Minnesota, I'm back to Mr. Not doing points, okay? Thanks for Minnesota reminding me why money line stuff, teasers and all that, because I will not divert from that again, but I do think West Virginia will cover.
All right. Sounds good, Dream. So that covers all the collegiate football today.
All the collegiate football is covered.
I don't love anything. I really don't love anything. I'm looking at that Penn State-Wisconsin under, but other than that, I just really can't find much that I'm really feeling. And
I like the Penn State-Wisconsin under teased with West Virginia.
Okay.
I like that. And then, of course, I like the 2 money line plays that I have with Oklahoma and Clemson. Those are my money line plays as far as today is concerned. But I do like that under. I think if you tease that under, you don't even have to be bothered with it because it goes crazy. What about teasing the 2 unders? Florida, Bama under, and the...
You know what bothers me about Bama?
Okay.
Defensive scoring.
All right.
That puts you over the top.
Florida's not throwing the ball.
Well, they'll give it a shot because they'll be down, and you know how that'll go. So, I don't know, man. You know what? We'll have the conversation later on and put it out on social media on where we're going with these games. But you know what? That's the only thing I see. When I looked at this card last Monday, Dream, and I've been just trying to find some stuff, and you know what? I never force it. Ever. I never force it. So I'm waiting for, obviously, the NFL tomorrow because I got a couple of spots. Ooh. And I'm waiting for the Cleveland Cavaliers on Monday night. So.
Got a couple of spots tomorrow myself. NFL looks very interesting this week. Obviously got the start already with the Cowboy debacle in Minnesota that I'm still slightly salty about. Because yesterday, everybody started with that, you never take the hometown dog.
That's right.
Always take the points.
That's right.
I'm like, dude, by the way, I remember my grandfather telling me that, so relax. All right? I went by the track a couple of times in my life and seen the old guys with the cigars out there with all their little wise tales. Just fall back. I don't care what no one says, all right? Dallas should have beat the hell out of Minnesota Thursday night. I don't care. I know, all right, Minnesota got a good defense. Whatever. On the field forever. Sam Bradford, awful quarterback, stinks. We've been watching this Dallas Cowboy team dominate teams all season long, all right? Okay? They were able to hold down the Pittsburgh Steelers offense, which to me is the best offense in football. And I know Minnesota's not even close to that. So don't even tell me that taking Dallas was the wrong way. Sorry, I'm not doing that, all right? I just don't do that. You play the best team. You take the best team on the field. Sometimes the best team don't always win, just like sometimes bad things happen to good people.
Exactly. Well, my man Wayne Yarborough was asking me about a Clemson, Oklahoma, and under in the Wisconsin game 10-point teaser. Not a bad look. Gets those two teams it gets those two teams that pick them, and it gets that down to, or what's that up to 57. So that might be pretty good, brother. So
Wayne, why you didn't follow what I said? You should have had Washington in that money line, and now you'd be adding the other two, getting paid. Come on, player, work with me. That will work, though. I do think that will be successful as well. So good luck if you're going to get involved with that. You also might want to throw West Virginia in there and make it a 4-teamer. Yeah. Get a little bit of extra. Get a little bit.
Not going to really get much more with a 17-point spread, but anyway.
Well, no, he said it's a teaser. He's saying.
A tease. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Get it under 7 or something like that. So, all right, cool deal, Dream. So I think that pretty much does it for us today.
Gang, we're going to get out of here. I want to thank everybody that's retweeted the show and got up with us this morning. We got Direct Sports Solution, Terrence Mack, Rick Lopez, OJFB, Wayne Yarborough, JDH24, Spot Bet, Shane Whitehead, Fast Eddie 72, Bang the Book, Marlon, the incredible Marley Mars out there. We got Cash Action Bets, Vegas Girl 9266. One Woots GG is in the house, just to name a few. Tennessee Titans out there, want to send him a shout out. Killer Cam 505 is out there saying, take a look at Real Madrid plus the 300 for all you soccer aficionados. Got Wayne Yarborough, Jackie, Jeff Ryan, Scott Weaver. We got the Clemson Tigers going today. I know Weaver's all amped up and in colors. So good luck to you out there. Good luck to me as well, because I have a money line. Key MVU, Almighty Kev, Deeks Picks, Joseph Del Rosario, BT, Terrence Mack, Taylor Stevens, Average Joe Punter, Sir Mata, JDH24, just to name a few. Gang, I'm the Dream. Always remember who you're with and make the most of each and every day, because you cannot get this time back.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Guys, be careful with this card today. It bothers me. But I'm sure you guys can find some good spots, and I wish you the best of luck.
I always want to be careful, buddy. About to take, let's see, Cleveland Cavs to win the World Series.
Cleveland Cavs to win the World Series. Interesting. Taking them on Monday night, though, that's for sure.
Oh, my boy.
I'm taking them, guys. We love you to death. Go out there and go easy. Enjoy your weekend. Make all your dreams a damn reality and get that money. Let's go.